Hey guys, Miguel with In Plain Sight Security and Readiness. First, I just want to apologize. I posted a video back with my series here, the Urban Survival series, called Lifestyle. I don't know if some of you watched it, but um, the sound on it just came out horrible. And I tried to filter, and I did, the best I could with the software I got, and it was just horrible, and you could barely hear it. And it was a good video too. A lot of good stuff in there, but unfortunately, uh, both Mother Nature and the urban environment was not cooperating with me. Anyhow, so I thought I'd make this video here so that I can, I guess, give myself a second chance video on this. But anyway, so back to what I was talking about, urban survival. This topic of this video is going to be lifestyle. Now, for me, and of course, a lot of the videos I make is all my opinion. This is my take on certain things. Urban survival for me is a lifestyle. It's something that you live, that it becomes a part of your everyday routine. It comes to you naturally, and I'm gonna get more into that as the video goes on. For me, urban survival is now. Especially if you live in an urban environment, you should already be in urban survival mode, because at any given moment something can happen. And for me, my opinion of SHTF, shit's hitting the fan, could be anything. But in an urban environment, you can encounter a lot of stuff. You can be attacked, you can be burglarized or robbed, you can be assaulted just for no reason. I mean, nowadays, with how things are going on in the world, you can be assaulted just because you support, Trump. You can be assaulted because you are gay or lesbian. You can be assaulted for your nationality. You can be Mexican, you can be black, white, it doesn't matter. Hell, you can be, you name it. All of a sudden, you could be going into an area and not know there's some kind of rally going or a demonstration or a protest, and it becomes violent, and the next you know, you're in a big old panic, and a lot of stuff can go on in those type of situations. So, for me, that's why you should always be in urban survival mode. Now, if you're an EDC person, an everyday carry person, then you're an urban survivalist. I mean, even though a lot of people everyday carry and out in the rural areas and stuff like that, but mostly when you hear of that stuff are from people who live in an urban environment. They'll have their pistol, they'll have their flashlight, their knife, so on, so on. Some people do bags instead of having, the carry stuff. Me, when I think of EDC, I think of what I can carry on my person without a bag. So, for example, my everyday carry almost all the time is a knife, a flashlight, and my Glock 43. That's typically my EDC. I don't really carry too much more than that, because I feel like I can either find or I can get wherever else I need in the process. So if you're not familiar with EDC, I have a video. I'll post a picture of the thumbnail of the video I made. Is how to everyday carry. Very, very good video. Very easy. I pretty much tell you what EDC is and what I carry normally. Now, so EDC, very important when it comes to urban survival. Also, I get a lot of conversation about gray man tactics. What do I feel about it? Be honest with you, I see a lot of videos, and a lot of it's bullshit. A lot of it's crap. My opinion is, gray man is just being inconspicuous. I'm gonna save you guys a lot of trouble. If you become inconspicuous, you'll be invisible pretty much. You'll be off the radar. No one's gonna notice you. Hell, I mean, I'm gonna guarantee you, a bunch of us now are inconspicuous without even knowing it, and no one don't even know that we're there. Now, but if you draw attention to yourself, then that's when you're gonna run into trouble. But if you can just be inconspicuous, I mean, wear pretty much very casual clothes, nothing loud, no extreme colors, very earth tone, very neutral colors. You know, don't talk on the phone, don't be loud, don't wear a lot of flashy clothing or jewelry, don't flaunt your stuff, don't talk as if you want the whole world to hear what you're talking about. Stuff like that, just, stay under the radar. And, I see a lot of these videos about, supposedly people who are, they work for the government and they took this covert training and all this stuff, and they tell you all these tactics. And how are you going to use this gray man approach in a SHTF situation? I'm going to tell you right now, in a SHTF situation, there is going to be no such thing as gray man. No one's going to know who you are. I'm going to tell you right now, with all the panic, with all the shit that's going on, especially in an urban environment, if something really bad happens, everyone's thinking about survival. Everyone's thinking about getting the hell out of there or how they're going to survive. No one's going to be thinking about looking for you, or they're going to target you. That's going to happen afterwards. And it's going to have nothing to do with your gray man tactics and you or someone targeting you. If someone's going to target you, it's because they know you have something that they want. So what you wear, the type of bag you have, your approach to stuff, it's not going to matter. If anything, gray man is now. You should be in gray man mode now, especially in an urban environment. Being inconspicuous, staying under the radar, not drawing a lot of attention to yourself. That, for me, that's my opinion on gray man. And that's, pretty much in an urban environment how you should be. All right. Now, back to lifestyle. In an urban environment, a lot can happen. So you should constantly be on a very high alert of readiness. So, one thing, you should have a weapon. Invest in some kind of concealed carry weapon. And also, what's more important than just having that weapon, because just having that weapon, it really isn't enough. You actually have to know how to use it. And know how to use it in an urban environment. And what I mean by urban, when you're going to be in an urban environment, it's close quarters battle. So, I mean, you may need to have to shoot from cover. You may be backing up, you going behind your car, going at the corner of a wall, behind something, a structure, in order to cover yourself. Or maybe if you have to be the aggressor when you're coming after someone, how to clear a room or do a room. I mean, there's a lot of stuff when it comes to an urban environment, and that's where you have to get good pistol training or concealed carry weapons training. For me, that's more important than actually the gun, because you can have the gun and not be able to shoot it, and it doesn't matter. You're still going to lose the battle. So that, for me, is super important. And then also, the other thing is, self-defense. You shouldn't rely on that weapon so much. What's even more important as having that concealed carry weapon or that knife or whatever you want to have in your vehicle is hand-to-hand combat. You should at least know how to defend yourself with your hands. And I'm not saying you need to be able to knock someone out or quickly take someone out and kill them or anything with your hands. I'm talking about you should be able to at least be able to do enough with your hands so you're able to get away, so that you're able to evade. Even if it's just stunning the person and quickly running away or whatever you have to do. It don't necessarily have to be, something too extravagant or extreme, something that you can probably get yourself hurt. I mean, you don't need to be a black belt master or whatever the hell you want to call it, okay? You just have to know enough. So take some kind of courses, self-defense courses. There's a ton of them out there. There's a ton of MMA gyms out there. There's enough stuff out there to help you defend yourself. And like I said, you don't have to, become black belt overnight. There's no rush to do it. Just learn and pick stuff up and be able to defend yourself. Because like I said, in an urban environment, there's some stuff you're going to need to do in order to defend yourself, and you may not be able to get to your weapon. That's where the hands-on goes. I mean, you may be caught off guard again, and you're going to need to be able to get out of that situation, be it a headlock or bear hug or whatever it is, in order to get out so that you can use your concealed carry or something like to that effect. Depending on the situation, I'm not going to go heavily involved in it, but I'll save that for another video. Fitness. That is so important when it comes to urban survival, because you need to be able to, one, be able to physically do what you need to do. If something happens and you may need to run for a couple blocks, if you can't, then that's against you. If you can't go up the flight of stairs or go down a flight of stairs, climb a ladder. I mean, in the urban environment, you will need to do that. You need to be able to climb stairs, climb ladders, open doors, defend yourself. I can go on and on. But even in general, just for personal health, and you need fitness, especially stress. You're going to be under so much stress if a situation happens. I mean, hell, you could be so stressed out, such in a panic, have an anxiety attack, and boom, have a heart attack because you're out of shape. So being in shape, that helps with all that stuff. So again, I'm not going to ramble on that, but for me, when you combine, the EDC, self-defense classes, marksmanship, knowing your environment, having that lifestyle, it all plays out into urban survival, because it all needs to be important to you, and it has to become a lifestyle in order for you to become prepared for any kind of urban survival, or urban disaster, SHTF, whatever you want to call it. You have to be able to be prepared for it. Skill's one thing, but having the equipment, the know-how, the physical ability, that is going to be crucial. Yeah, granted, in an urban environment, you may need to start a fire to stay warm, purify water, first aid, make a shelter, all that stuff. Yeah, that's great. The 5 elements of survival. But in an urban environment, really, the stuff that really affects you, that's what's going to matter the most. And being able to respond and handle those situations is going to be crucial. Urban survival and rural survival out in the woods, they're two totally different things. They're going to be two totally different animals. So that's why most people think it's going to be more harder to survive in an urban environment than they would be in the woods, because there's going to be less people. It's, less congested, less everything. But one thing, it's harder in the woods. For me, honestly, I would not bug out to woods unless I really, really needed to. Because, one, you're going to have to make your own shelter, and that shelter may not be the best. Two, you're going to have to deal with purified water, just like an urban environment. But granted, just because you're going to the woods doesn't mean there's going to be a lot of water around. Unless you're going in the woods somewhere where there's close to a creek or a lake or something like that. Or at least in an urban environment, there's going to be the water there for a certain period of time. And in most urban environments, there is some kind of a lake or a body of water. I mean, there's retention ponds. You name it, water heaters. There's usually a surplus of water. There really is, most urban environments, unless, you may not be close proximity to it, but there is. And again, I'm not going to ramble on that, because it's something that, we can definitely, I will be discussing those type of topics in another video that I do. But lifestyle, I cannot stress to you how important having that urban survival mentality, lifestyle, EDC, fitness, hand to hand. Knowing where you live, knowing the place you live, knowing where everything's at, the stuff that you will have access to, you won't have access to. That's important. It's all lifestyle, and you really, really gotta live it. And it has to be you in order for you to properly survive in an urban environment. And when a situation does arise, you're going to be that much better for it because you're prepared. You have your EDC, you have the fitness to do it, you have the know-how and the ability to do that stuff. So, guys, thanks for watching. Go ahead, leave me some feedback. Also, I go into my channel page. I have a bunch of other videos that may help out with this type of urban survival series. I got one called How to Hide in Plain Sight. I'll post that, also a picture of that in this video here. I got the top 5 urban survival tools. You name it, ton of videos out there. But when I go to edit this video, I'll go ahead and I'll post up some of those pictures so that you can see the other type of videos I have that pretty much will discuss some of the stuff I talked about in this video. So, just like always, guys, be humble, stay alert, and always be ready. Till next time.